Well, today we've got a fun interview. We're joined by Bryant, the Director of Broadcasting, Media Relations, and the voice of the Everett Silvertips to talk Silvertips hockey, but also an upcoming event for the Silvertips, but also for us here at Skagit Speedway, Mascot Mania. Casey, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, happy to be here, Eric.
So let's first kind of look at the event. We're really excited. Mascot Mania coming up this Sunday, February 1st, versus the Tri-City Americans, the Everett Silvertips. What can fans expect of this event?
Well, it's going to be a lot of fun because I think that the Everett Silvertips, number one, are an entertaining hockey product. That kind of speaks for itself. The team is at the top of the WHL standings, so they can, number one, expect some fantastic hockey with some, highly touted future NHL players. For those who may be unfamiliar with with the product, is that you are able to have uh, college age players fighting for position in the NHL draft, to where they're not necessarily going to college. They're going to educate themselves away from the rink, and they're going to ready themselves for the professional scene, and they're going to pursue that. So you're going to see some really highly talented, high caliber talented players. But on top of that, Mascot Mania is an opportunity to go see Lincoln, who's the number one draw, I think, for the Everett Silvertips, and a bunch of the best mascots in the Western Hockey League. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Can we get a teaser of who some of the mascots fans might see? Lincoln, Dirt Dog will be there for Skagit Speedway, but anyone else that will be fun for the fans to see and interact with?
Yeah, absolutely. Doppler from the Seattle Storm is going to be there. Apollo from the Washington Wolfpack, who's the arena football team in Angel of the Winds Arena. Croco, the KRKO alligator. And a bunch of other fun surprises that I think people are going to love. In years past, we've been able to celebrate some of the, I think, ancillary mascots that have not been maybe at the forefront. Last year, one of the biggest hits was the Ivar's clam, which, as someone who's not like a Washington native, I didn't know that the Ivar's clam was as big a celebrity as he is. So that was a major draw. And Jet the Otter, who is pretty new, will be coming back. He's the mascot for SeaTac Airport. Those are some pretty popular ones that I didn't necessarily expect people to gravitate to, but they gravitated to.
I didn't know Ivers had a mascot nor SeaTac, so that's exciting. And mascots are just fun, right?
Apparently, it's a huge deal. Like the Ivar's clam, I guess, stems from like some commercial from the early 2000s, maybe even the 90s, of people that are in like full black bodysuit with a giant clam head on them, and it's the weirdest looking thing you've ever seen. But it's adorable. It's fun.
So will the clan be here this weekend?
Yeah, the clan will be there. It'll
All
be
right.
some goofy fun havery where people will be able to walk around the concourse, get to meet all the mascots that are wandering around, and then during the first intermission, all the mascots are going to pool together on the ice, and they're going to play a friendly exhibition game of hockey during the intermissions. So the chaos on the concourse is pretty strong, but the chaos on the ice tops everything.
Well, you just said it. I want to talk about that first intermission kind of friendly scrimmage game. How is that? Because I always have seen, the NFL mascot games versus kids, and, those always look like a lot of fun. Now, the mascot scrimmage, what can fans expect from that? I'm assuming a good time, right?
Absolutely. I think that you get to see the characters really shine. You get to see who is there to actually play the sport, who's really sport driven, who is going to try to mix it up in the corners, who's going to be a tough guy, who's going to be just sabotaging everything on the ice. I think that it's an opportunity for the troublemakers to really shine. The Everett Aqua Sox have a couple of really great mascots in Webley and Frank. And I think Webley is a little more focused on putting the puck in the net, whereas Frank is a little more focused on trying to get under people's skin and cause a little bit of havoc. So I think that it's a really fun opportunity for people to see the different personalities at play. So it's going to be a longer game and during the intermission, and we'll see who winds up scoring. Lincoln has been, I think, the leading scorer the last couple of years, which I know Lincoln takes great pride in. So that'll be a fun opportunity for someone to stake their claim in Silvertip hockey history.
Well, Lincoln should be ready because Dirt Dog here at Skagit Speedway has been training. He's been watching your games. He's been out in our grandstands doing push ups, running stairs. So he's going to be ready to come in and play hard in this first period intermission. So expect Dirt Dog to come in and try to score some goals. He's a genuine goal scorer.
And you need that. That you can never have too much skill in hockey. I think that's an important thing to have. You can't teach goal scoring prowess. You can't teach clutch. So if Dirt Dog is coming in and he's got a penchant for scoring goals in big moments, it could come down to a real matchup of skill between Lincoln and Dirt Dog. I'm excited to see what he's bringing to the table.
Dirt Dog is very excited. You talk about skill, and let's kind of shift to the Everett Silvertips side. Man, this team has a lot of skill. You look, just numerous multi-point goal scorers. What type of brand of this hockey does this team play?
I think that what you've heard head coach Steve Hamilton describe this team as is a refined version of a grit and sandpaper team, which, again, for those who may not be completely in the know about hockey, grit and sandpaper are two very sought after terms in hockey. Everyone wants to be tough. Everyone wants to be hard to play against. Not every team is. The Everett Silvertips are, to where they have some really high skill guys up front. You got Julius Miettinen, who's a Seattle Kraken second round pick, a terrific scorer, a great playmaker, 6'3" from Finland. You've got Carter Bear, who is a first round pick to the Detroit Red Wings this past summer. He is someone that is a terrific scorer, great two-way player. Landon DuPont, who is a future NHL draft pick, who is one of the best offensive defensemen that you'll see in the sport, and he's only 16 years old. He's already head and shoulders above so many other people. But on top of guys that can score, you have guys that can hit, guys that can forecheck, play defensive style hockey where they're just annoying to play against. And I think that some of the terms that the team has embraced is smothering and suffocating. They want to be a team that does not allow any chances from the opposition. And I think you've seen that some of the shot totals lately for the Everett Silvertips, it's a good day as a hockey team if you get 30 shots in a game. If you get 30, okay, you've had a pretty good opportunity to put the puck in the back of the net. The Silvertips team is regularly hitting 45, 50, oftentimes even 60 shots, which is double what average teams get. So you're seeing, I think, one of the more fun brands of hockey in the Everett Silvertips because, boy, are they just annoying to play against.
Well, you mentioned Miettinen and Bear both with 19 and 18 goals, both respectively. And you talk about shots on goal. I feel like the Silvertips are a very disciplined team. They don't take a lot of penalties, and 5-on-5 hockey seems to be their brand of hockey. Is that kind of the memo?
I think that's fair to say, yeah, because they're a team that wants the puck on their stick, and it's harder to take a penalty if you've got control of the puck. It's not impossible, but it is certainly less probable. So they want to be a team that is dictating the pace of play, and the way that they've done that is at 5-on-5. Their power play has been strong, and honestly, the more bodies you take away from the ice, if it gets down to 4-on-4 or 3-on-3, the more space you're going to allow them, the more that skill is going to be able to shine. So I do think that there's a great opportunity for the Silvertips to make some noise this season, and it's because they're such a strong 5-on-5 team. They've got strength at every position. They're able to move the puck up ice. They've created a very dynamic offense for themselves, which I think has put them in the position that they're in.
Goaltending. Good goaltending can win you games and take you really far. The Silvertips have a tandem of two goaltenders that have played really well throughout this year. What have you seen from both their games that has allowed the Silvertips to succeed in front of them?
They've got a really great 1A, 1B going in net. They started the year with Raiden Legal as their de facto number one. He was getting 80-90% of the starts, maybe even more than that. There was really only one night that he took off. So the Silvertips make a trade for another experienced netminder in Anders Miller, who's also 19 years old in addition to Raiden. And Anders Miller comes in and is solid as a rock. Very dependable back there, which gives the Silvertips something that they had last year to a degree, which is a very just secure 1A, 1B. If you get into these weekends where you're playing 3 games in a row, you're getting into these weeks where you're playing 4 times a week. We just got through a stretch where they were all at home, but they were 6 games in the span of 11 days. That's a lot of hockey to be playing in 2 weeks. And that takes a physical toll not only a mental toll, a physical toll as well. So the fact that you've got two goaltenders that you can rotate in and out, you're keeping fresh legs, and both of them have been excellent. That's a major boon for any hockey team. So I think they both have their respective strengths in net. But number one is that they're both extremely competitive, and they both keep you in the game. They both give you a chance to win, so that no matter who you've got in net, it's going to be trouble for the opposing team. So I think they've got a really secure position in net. And goaltending's always been a thing in Everett, right? You can go back to Jeff Harvey in the original days and carry it on through to Dustin Wolf in most recent years, who's making a name for himself with the Calgary Flames. So there's a great opportunity here for these two goaltenders.
Yeah, it seems like the goaltending pipeline out of Everett has been strong for years, like you mentioned. But this Sunday, Silvertips, Tri-City Americans, the battle of the top two teams in the U.S. division. So far, it's been all Silvertips through 4 games. They have won all 4. What has made them be so successful against Tri-City?
It's funny because I think that Tri-City is a team that has historically given the Silvertips some problems in recent years because Tri-City plays very big. They play a very aggressive style, particularly in their building in Kennewick. That's one of the hardest barns to win in. So I think that Tri-City this year, they've gotten fortunate that they've gotten some bounces in some close games. But Tri-City is a team that you can't sleep on because they play a chip and chase style of hockey that matches up well, I think, with Everett, where they're not gonna blow you away with their skill, but you look at some of the guys that they have on their roster, they are a hard hitting, aggressive team, and that is where I think the Tri Cities have made their bread and butter for the last decade. I think. I look at a guy like Cash Cook up front for them. He's someone that I think always makes an impact as a physical player. He throws his weight around, tries to get under people's skin. He's an aggravator. He's an agitator. Charlie Ellick on the back end, who's a Columbus Blue Jackets second-round pick in the NHL. He's a big but mobile defenseman. They've got a very good system and a good identity. So I think that while the Silvertips have been able to, stick to their game plan and pick up some W's against them, you can't sleep on Tri-City because they are one of those teams that is always in every single game. Especially if you get them in a playoff environment where it's in Kennewick, that's a tough barn to play in. So hopefully Silvertips are able to use home ice advantage to their benefit.
You talk about tough barns, and I have to imagine Angel of the Winds Arena is right up there as one of the toughest, mainly due to those cowbells that the fans always come in. What type of atmosphere does that create for your home ice advantage?
Oh, it's huge. And I think that everyone in the league recognizes that. Anytime you get a new player coming to Everett for the first time, whether they're on the opposition side or they're coming to join the Everett Silvertips, the first thing they always mention is they hear the fan base is crazy and the building's really loud. A point of pride for this organization was that last year for an anonymous player poll, 300 players around the Western Hockey League are surveyed. Over 25% of them said that Angel of the Winds is the toughest building to play in as a visiting player, which was runaway the number one choice. This year it was down to number 2 as the top choice, with Art Hauser Center and Prince Albert taking it as number 1, which is a funnier building because it holds like 2,000 people, 2,500 people, but everyone's right on top of each other, and and Prince Albert is a pretty tough team to play. So, but Angel of the Winds Arena is always in that conversation, and it's because of the environment, it's because of the fans, it's because of the noise that's in there. And we love the fact that the cowbells have become synonymous with the Everett Silvertips. Fans embrace it, the players love it, and they feed off of it too. Everyone who comes to Everett recognizes that they're excited to play for that building and for that noise. So I think it's a major benefit. Players will tell you that they're not paying attention to the fans if they're trying to keep it cool and just give you the sports cliche of, oh, we're just focused on us, focused on the task at hand. They notice. They notice the noise. They feel that pressure. I think it's exciting. And it's a major. Sunday's going to be a really good crowd.
Well, yeah, hopefully we'll hear a lot of cowbells during that first period intermission scrimmage and throughout the game as a whole. And Mascot Mania is going to be such a fun event. Now, you guys have 2 games before the Tri-Cities. You'll go on the road to play, Spokane and Seattle before you come back home. Where can fans, if they want to get a preview of Silvertips action, catch them before they see the Silvertips on Sunday?
Yeah, a couple of big games coming up this weekend because Spokane is a team that's right in the mix, fighting for a playoff spot, and Spokane beat Everett. They handed Everett one of only 6 regulation losses all season 2 weeks ago in Everett, so the Tips are going to try and get them back at Spokane Arena. That's Friday night at 7 o'clock, and then Saturday at 6 at Climate Pledge Arena. The Everett Silvertips are going to square off with the Seattle Thunderbirds for the now annual Battle of the Sound. Both those games are available for free on Victory Plus. If you download the Victory Plus app, you'll have to put in, I think it's just your email address, and you don't have to pay for anything. So every Western Hockey League game is available for free, both the home and the away feed. So you can check out the away feed. You can hear me yap about the Everett Silvertips all night. And it's a great opportunity against a big slew of U.S. Division opponents. Sunday's game as well will be broadcast on Victory Plus. Every game is there from the regular season to the postseason and beyond. Great opportunity to catch some of the brightest stars of hockey's future.
Well, Casey, thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to February 1st at 4 p.m. against the Tri-State Americans. If you want to support Dirt Dog and Skagit Speedway, we have a special discount link just for you if you visit Skagit Speedway on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, wherever there is a link to buy tickets for a discounted rate. Other than that, Casey, thank you so much. Dirt Dog and everyone here at Skagit Speedway really looks excited and forward to Mascot Mania, so it's going to be a good time. Thanks for chatting with us.
Hey, thank you, Eric. Looking forward to seeing Dirt Dog out there.
Yeah, he's going to do well. Don't you worry.
I'll be keeping an eye.
All right, all right.